Good morning. My name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company. No, not that kind of yoga. Today, at this particular moment, is a Viniyoga class. It's a therapeutic brand of yoga. If you've never done Viniyoga before, it's about connecting the breath to the movement of the body with the idea that we are improving and protecting our spinal health and joint health. So it's a little bit different, and it does mean that we're focusing a lot on the breath. So, I mean, don't stress too much about it. I'm going to cue it. It's all good. Especially at this particular moment of class, we have 2 wildfires going on in Colorado, and you can hear it in my voice after the COVID. It's very, I'm feeling it more so, I think, than I would pre-COVID, but that's okay. We're all getting better. We're all taking a little bit of precaution and having some grace and kindness for ourselves and others, please. I changed the angle of the camera to appease my film director daughter, and now you can see where I haven't finished painting. I will be very excited to do my Vanna White gesture and show you that that whole wall has been painted. Woohoo! We're getting ready to put our house on the market with no idea of where we're going. So I don't know about you, but I need this today. We're going to start in comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. You could be both legs in, both legs out. This is going to be a forward focus. This is going to be a forward folding focused flow. So hopefully you'll feel very, very good afterwards. So let's get started. Taking a moment to pull your attention and awareness from the external to the internal. Take and scan the body, checking in, state and quality of the physical form. Just noticing what you've done through the week, where you already feeling a little tension or tightness. Keep an eye on the time. Wherever you are at with that attention, let's move it into the space and quality of our thinking and check in. Maybe, unlike me, you're not 100% in high-speed gear. Maybe you have things, you hit the ground running this morning. We want to move all of those things off to the side and create a nice, clear, open field of thought for the practice. And once you've cleared that space out in your thought process, let's move that attention and awareness into the breath, and let's notice the state and quality of that naturally intuitive inhale and exhale. We're going to invite that breath to get a little bit longer and a little bit deeper. We want to match the length of inhale to the length of exhale and create a rhythm that we're going to try and hold throughout the practice, but we're going to be manipulating that breath. So let's just warm up the lungs and get ourselves, and we're going to take about, let's take 4 deep inhales and exhales and find that matching pace, that rhythmic pace. as you're breathing, I want you to think about drawing the breath past through the chest. We want to inhale the deepest part of our belly. We want to push the air down into that space of the lungs, and then increase the capacity as we fill the middle space of the lungs, and finally bringing that breath up into the very last range. I'm trying to think of my words, of the lungs. And then as we exhale, we're going to collapse the belly and release the breath out of the mid body, releasing the chest and the shoulders. So that's kind of this ocean swell breath that I'm going to describe. We're going to be inhaling into the lower portion of the torso, expanding the breath up and further until we can fill the lungs to our deepest capacity. And then we will start the exhale in the same position, in the same place. Exhaling, dropping the belly, releasing the belly button, and letting that air out of the chest. All right, we're going to release that control over the breath. We're going to move and start on our hands and knees. I'm going to pad my knees with a blanket. And we are going to get into this flow of forward folding. I'm going to rest both my fists on the mat side by side, and I'm going to replace my knees to either side of my fists. This wider position of the knees is going to be important because we're going to be moving back and forth to into a pose called Vajrasana, which is standing on our knees. It's going to be kind of important. But we're going to start with our Shakavakasana bows. So taking the hips stacked directly over the knees, moving the heels of the hands out in front of the body, out from underneath the shoulders, half to a full palm's length. So you're going to feel a little overextended in the hands and stacked hip to knee in the lower body. So let's start with our inhales. Let's draw that nice slow inhale in. And then start with the exhale first and release the chin. Slowly place the elbows to the mat. And as you continue to exhale, let's slowly sweep hips back towards heels. Release toward the floor. Let's wiggle the fingers and roll the wrists, make some fists. And then when you're ready, start that next inhale first. We start the inhale and then we add the movement. Really important to slow the body down so that we can connect the speed of that process to the length of the breath. So we want to move very, very slowly. Remember, we always initiate with the breath before we move. Start that exhale before you tilt the chin and take it down one more time. We're going to rest right here in child's pose. So open those elbows up. If you need to, you can turn the cheek and rest the head on your temple. But let's just take a breath or two right here. Just noticing the energy in the low back. Maybe you're feeling energy in the hips or the shoulders. And by energy, I mean response. After we've been moving, what is your response is your body giving you? I describe it as energy. It could be heat, it could be anxiety. All right, we're going to come on up to standing on our knees. And I want you to feel comfortable side to side. I want you to feel comfortable front to back. I want balancing the weight so that your toes aren't coming off the mat because you're going to be too far forward and out of your core. And if you're leaning too far back, you're going to feel all the heat in your quads. So we're just finding that space of balance, and we're going to take 3 different rounds of, this is called Vajrasana. So we're going to take a double arm sweep, the first 4, then we're going to take a single arm sweep the next 4. Yeah, that's right. I can count. All right, here we go. Now let's exhale all the air out of the lungs to start. This is the slickest yoga production you've ever seen. Here we go. So we're going to start the exhale by collapsing around the waistband. We're dropping the hips. I want you to control the weight of the body now through the core. Sweep those arms back and fold toward the mat. As you inhale, engage the core, reverse crunch up, and work through that stretch. And this is the speed that we're going to do. I want you to really increase the length of that breath, the length of the exhale. Activating through the core, starting with the inhale, then moving the body, starting with the exhale, and then moving the body. And frankly, you're going to hear me struggling with this breath post-COVID, middle of the fire season in Colorado, feeling that pressure and that shortness. So just bear with me. So let's start this inhale. We're going to come on up. We're going to exhale those arms down. So just let them drift down toward the hips. All right, we're going to take an alternating arm sweep. So it's going to be exactly the same breath and motion, only this time we're going to extend one arm and tuck the other arm back. And then as we inhale, we'll come up with both arms. As we exhale, we'll sweep the other arm down and take that extended arm fold. So once again, balance the weight front to back, side to side. I'm going to start with my right hand, so no big deal. You can start on either side. Big inhale up. And now initiate that exhale and release. Unwind both arms with the inhale. And we're going to switch. We're going to take this last repetition. And now let's slowly unwind that right arm. Take a little sway side to side. Open up the elbows and release for the child's pose. Let's take a few breaths. Just relax out of the breathing pattern. And now let's slowly move ourselves to our bellies. We're gonna work a little bit of cobra, and we're gonna work a little bit with arm extension and a tuck back. Take a little rock side to side. We're going to release our backs. Sorry, that's the wrong word. We're gonna release our arms. I'm just double checking my flow. All right, so we're gonna work a little low back, and then we're gonna work a little mid back. So the elbows are tucked next to the rib cage. Hands are in front of the shoulders. I'm gonna tuck my chin forward because that's comfortable for me. If it's not, rest your head to the side. Just be mindful that you're gonna rotate side to side to keep that stretch through the strap muscles balanced. All right, we're gonna lift, we're gonna take a little leg lift. So pull those toes a little bit longer away from the hips. Relax the upper body. We're gonna exhale all the air out of the lungs to start with. And as we inhale, we're gonna take our little chest lift and a little right leg lift. So we're just inhaling. I've got no pressure on my arms. I'm lifting from the core. Actually, I'm just gonna turn my head because that's what is my body saying, let's do that. So let's all just turn our heads one way. Inhale, lift again into that cobra and take the left leg up. And slowly exhale down and turn the head the other direction. We're just gonna keep working with this rotation, slowly exhaling. We're working that ocean swell breath as carefully as we can. It's hard when we're laying on our torso, you know, when we're laying on our belly. But try to keep that relaxed pace. Try to keep that slow movement. Take those shoulders out of it. I felt my shoulders creeping up toward my ears. And we're going to take one more lift. All right, I'm going to release my forehead to my hands, take a little rock side to side, rest out of that breath. And notice what's going on in the low back, what's going on in the shoulders and the upper back. All right, we're gonna lengthen the right arm and we're going to tuck the left arm back with our palm up. Now you can stay resting with your palm on the mat. If you want to increase the energy, you can fold a blanket and lift that up or rest it on a block. If you feel like you've got a little bit more room and you can rest that hand on the left glute, just tuck that hand up. It's completely up to you. I want you to pay attention to your energy, and we're going to work asymmetrically, which means we're going to stay on one side. So I'm always going to look away from my extended arm. So because my right arm is extended, I'm just going to be looking left. So we're going to rotate from center to left. We're just going to take a little lift of the body. So exhale all the air out of the lungs. And let's start that nice long ocean swelling breath. I'm going to lift up and look down to center. I'm lifting and lengthening through the upper back and that right arm. And now I'm going to slowly release as I exhale. Remember to initiate the breath, the inhale before you move. Initiate the exhale before you move. Keeping that chin slightly tucked. I'm just looking down at the center of my mat. We're going to take one more repetition. And release. Let's let that hand slide down. Let's move it out in front of us, nice and slow. And we're going to take a little rest with the head on the back of the hands. Little rock side to side. Let's take our breath, just easy inhale and exhale. Noticing the energy of the shoulders, energy in the chest and the back. All right, we're going to lengthen the left arm out now. We're going to slide the right hand back, palm up. Now remember, we're going to be looking into the right because the left arm is extended. And again, you can just rest that hand on the mat. You can put a blanket underneath it or a block. And if you've got that energy, just tuck it. Rest those fingers on the right hip. All right, exhale all the air out of the lungs to start. And then begin that inhale as we lift and extend the upper body. Try to keep the lower body relaxed. Keeping that gaze down to center so that chin is slightly tucked. And we're going to release down. We're going to slowly unwind that hand and just rest the back of the head on the back of the hands. Take a little rock side to side. Let's take a scan of that right side and notice what's going on in the low back. I'm having some reaction in the shoulder and the chest, but most importantly, I'm definitely having a response in the low back. All right, we're going to come on through. We're going to extend the right arm again. You can rest that left arm on the mat this round. We're going to keep it there because we're going to work a little, again, we're going to be working asymmetrical. So we're only going to be working the right side, but we're going to be lifting the left leg. So we're adding a leg lift here to the arm extension. So keep the left arm low on the mat, palm up. All right, exhaling all the air out of the lungs. Let's start that ocean swelling breath. And we're lifting the left leg and the right arm, and we're just going to release them down. And turn the head to the left. Keep moving. One more repetition. And we're going to release that. Bring that left arm forward. Let's just take that rest. Travel the line from that shoulder down to the opposite toe and notice what is going on in your back. All right, we're going to lengthen the left arm. We're going to rest the right arm next to our side, palms up. We're going to take the right leg up and the left arm up in this extension. So let's relax and exhale all the air out of the lungs. And with our inhale, let's begin. Remember, always initiate the movement with the inhale or exhale first, and then take that release of the body. And release the body to the mat. We're going to bring that right arm around in front. Take a little sway side to side. And let's rest. Notice the energy in the body, in the back, in the hips. All right, we're going to bring our hands up underneath the chest, what this is, the shoulders. We're going to come on up, just peel up through hands and knees, recenter the knees, restack the hips, move the heels of the hands out. We're going to add another round of Chakravarkasana here. Soften the elbows, flatten the back. Exhale all the air out of the lungs. Start with your inhale. And now let's initiate that exhale, tucking the chin, releasing forearms. Now take those hips back, little scoop of the belly, release into this nice long fold. Initiate the inhale, then start your movement. Remember to initiate that drop of the elbow so we can flatten the upper back. We're tucking the tailbone and scooping the belly to take that nice long stretch through the low back. 2 more of those. Let's release those elbows out, little sway side to side, and now just rest and notice that easy intuitive inhale and exhale and feel where the energy of the back and the hips are. All right, we're gonna slowly come on up. We're gonna move ourselves forward because we're going to come to our backs. I am going to move this blanket out of the way. I'm gonna actually grab a little drink of water. All that deep breathing dries me out. All right. We're just gonna lay down. Take a little sway side to side, a little tilt up with the tailbone, relax into the hips. Just double check where we're at here. I can't see anything without my glasses. Oh yeah, okay. We're gonna work our little leg and arm extension. We're gonna work a little pelvic tilt. Then we're gonna work some Apanasana. Okay. Just making sure I'm on track. Making sure I'm keeping the sense of the time. All right. Here we go. So I'm gonna keep my feet on the floor, knees to the ceiling. And we are gonna work asymmetrically here. So we're gonna work one side only, and then we're gonna work both sides. So there's 3 rounds of this asana, and we're gonna work it in repetition. I already explained that we're gonna do it one side to the other, right? Okay. I'm on it. I'm on it. So I'm gonna leave my right foot on the mat. I'm gonna just float my left knee straight up over my hip. And I'm going to add the left arm. So we've done this before, I think, where we've just extended legs, but we're gonna add an arm sweep and a head turn. So remember, I guess not remember, we always turn our gaze away from the extension of the arm. So because we're going to extend the left side, we're going to turn our head to the right and then just release it straight to center. So as we inhale, again, I'm just going to let the toe float, very little energy as I slowly extend the leg and feel that length of in the spine. And then I'm going to bring it back in and draw that leg a little toward me with the pressure in the right foot. At the same time, I'm going to connect. I'm going to take a windshield, not a windshield wiper sweep, a snow angel sweep with the arm. I'm going to extend the left arm and the left leg together. I will be turning my head to the right. And then I'm going to slowly bring that toe down and bring my arm in. Now, my palms are down. This is a little rotation of the arm in the shoulder socket. So I'm starting palm down, but I'm going to trace my pinky along the floor and turn my palm up so that at the top of that sweep, my palm is up. So that's the rotation of the arm. I'm going to get a little movement through the shoulder and through the hip. And the goal is to use the inhale to stretch this side of the body. So let's exhale all the air out of the lungs. Let's take a few ocean swelling breaths. Let's get that rhythm going. So remember, we're inhaling through the chest, expanding the ribs and filling the belly, and then we're going to exhale belly, ribs, chest. All right, start our inhale and then let's initiate that movement. Lifting that toe. There is zero energy in the leg. It's just a gentle expansion. I'm turning my head to look as far right as I can. I'm sweeping that arm long, but be mindful of your shoulder energy. And now draw the knee toward you with that exhale. And let's do that again. Start the inhale first. Initiate the exhale. Try to combine all of those elements. Draw that knee toward you. Continue to move. Two more repetitions. All right, we're gonna release that foot to the mat, take a little sway side to side. I'm actually gonna extend my legs. I'm feeling that my hip flexor right here. And let's just rest and take a few breaths. Notice the energy of the left side of the body. All right, let's bring the feet back up to the mat. I'm gonna float my right knee over the hip. Relax the fingers down toward the mat. Let's start our ocean swelling breath. Filling the lungs up from chest through the ribs to the belly. I think I might have explained that backwards when we were sitting and practicing our breathing. It's okay now. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. All right, let's add our movement. Initiate the inhale first. Draw that knee in a little closer to the body with the exhale, at the end of that exhale. Inhaling in, start it. One more time. Let's release that foot to the mat. I'm going to extend my legs. Take a little sway side to side with those hips. And let's just relax. Notice the energy on the right side of the body. Let's bring the feet up to the mat. We're going to relax the hands down. We're going to work through this double-sided arm sweep. So we're going to take those both knees now. So we're going to work symmetrically on both sides of the body. Let's just float the knees. There's going to be no head tilt, head twist. Wiggle those toes, relax the feet. I want to prevent any foot cramps. Relax those shoulders down. We're going to exhale all the air out of the lungs. Let's initiate with our inhale. And now we're going to just connect the double arm sweep with the extension of the toes. Feel the weight of the legs. Press the hips into the mat. Feel the extension of the sides of the body. And then initiate that exhale. and let those hands come down. Start the inhale. Draw those knees a little closer towards the body on this exhale. And continue to move. Two more repetitions. One more round. Release toes to the mat. Relax the breath. Take a little sway side to side. Ooh, feeling some serious low back heat now is what I would call it. Rest the breath, rest the hands. Let's notice now the energy going through the back and the hips. Actually getting a lot of response out of my shoulders on that one as well. All right, let's extend the right leg. We're going to rest the foot on top of the knee. I'm going to relax my arms out. You can do palms down or palms up. You could take a cactus arm. I want you to notice the energy in the shoulders. We're going to take some half sweeps to the right in repetition. It's a half sweep because we really didn't do a lot of twisting. We didn't do any twisting as we warmed up. So we're just going to take a release through the hip flexor, the piriformis, a little bit up into this lumbar structure, the glute med, and the insertion points of the obliques. So let's just exhale all the air out of the lungs. We're going to start with the inhale. And now initiate the exhale. And as you initiate the exhale, we're just going to slowly rock to the extent that we can toward the right. Inhaling, slowly unwind. So the reason this is, we're not doing a full-on twist here is number one, we didn't warm up in our twists, initiate. And this is just kind of a mid-range twist. I'm just tilting that knee over to the hip. I'm on my right hip, but I'm not gonna take it full on into that big wrenching. Wrenching is a bad word. Leveraged, I'll call it a leveraged twist. It's a lovely twist, but we're not going to work that today. So let's just take about 3 more of these. It's just a shallow twist. The shoulder blade, the ribs are staying in contact with the mat. I'm just working that shoulder. I can feel that energy from the arm sweep. One more time. Come on back and release. Bring those arms in. Let's bring the other foot up. Just take a moment and rest the breath and notice now what's going on in the left side of the body. All right, let's lengthen the left leg. Find that arm position that's going to work for you. Rest the right foot on top of the left knee. Let's exhale all the air to start. Let's initiate with our inhale. And as we initiate with the exhale, we're going to just start that slow rotation to the right. You can see from this angle, it's just a slow rotation, just barely to the hip. Nice small movements using the core and the breath, keeping the arm and the shoulder blade on the right side engaged to the mat. Inhaling on the unwind, exhaling on the twist. I had to do that, remind myself, because I lost control of my breath. 2 more repetitions. Slowly unwinding. Let's bring the feet, both feet, to the mat. Take a little sway side to side. Rest the arms and rest the breath. Let's just notice now the energy on that side of the body. Alrighty, we're gonna just take our fingertips over the tops of the knees. We're finishing off with our symmetrical Apanasana. So I'm just gonna make sure I'm a little square in the hips. Relax the shoulders. The knees are hanging in the length of the arms. Let's inhale to prepare. And exhale. As you exhale, start that initiation of the breath, and now slowly draw knees toward the ribs and give me a little lift at the bottom of that retention or suspension of breath. Inhaling slowly until we are fully extended in the arms. And again, just working through that little tuck of the chin, the tiniest of lifts of the hip. Let's release the feet all the way to the mat. We'll take a little sway side to side, and we're going to work our way into relaxation. So think about the energy of your back. I'm going to scooch my feet out to the edge of the mat and just let my knees tent in, resting my hands on my ribs. I want you to get comfortable. If you want to extend those legs, feel free. If you want to slide that blanket underneath the hips and low back, feel free. We're going to start relaxing into our Shavasana. So let's just release the body. We're going to bring our attention and awareness into the state and quality of the forehead and smooth out all those tiny little muscles and nerve endings. Let the eyes relax and take support in the sockets of the skull. Unclench the teeth and let the tongue relax away from the roof of the mouth. We want to continue that softness down through the face, through both sides of the strap muscles on either side of the neck. Relax the energy out of the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades get heavy along the floor. Through biceps and triceps, release the energy out of the arms through the elbows. Little wiggle of the fingers, and then let the upper body rest completely against the mat. Let's feel that length of spine from the base of the skull down through the neck, between the ribs, maybe a little tilt of the hips, a little rock side to side, and now feel that torso press heavily against the mat. Let it relax. Let's release the energy out of the quads, around the hamstrings. Feel soft through the space of the knees, a little flexion or rock and roll with the calf. Wiggle the toes and then release the lower body to take its rest against the floor. Pulling that attention and awareness into the state and quality of your thinking. If there's anything trying to get your attention, let's slide it off to the side, holding that silence for a little bit longer. And then let's anchor that silence into the path of the breath, that natural intuitive inhale and exhale. Let's pull some deeper breaths into the lungs. Big filling inhale, big sighing exhale. A little wiggle of the fingers, roll the wrists. I'm going to lengthen my legs, wiggle toes, and roll the ankles. Reach the arms out and away into T. I'm going to slowly take those arms up over the head and add this yawning, getting out of bed stretch. Sliding those hands down to the hips. Let's bring a knee up and give it a squeeze. Bringing that other knee up to meet it. Hugging those knees into the body. Excuse me. Little rock side to side. Somebody's going to snore. Somebody's going to fart. It's the truth of yoga, as told by Julia. Take a little rock side to side. Little rock all the way over. Let's rest the head on the arm. So you can stay here if you are choosing to continue to hang out. I'm going to slowly lengthen my top leg. I'm going to walk my hands underneath the torso to come back and ease myself into comfortable seated position. Just whatever that looks like for you. Taking a little rock side to side. I want to roll my shoulders back a little bit. Ooh. I'm going to cut my fingers over my knee and take a little stretch through that side body. Releasing the chin forward for that bow, and I'm going to lean in the other direction. And releasing again into that bow. Oh, let's stack shoulders over ribs, ribs over hips. And let's take a scan of the body, checking in state and quality of the physical form. No ownership, no judgment. We're just noticing what we've got going on in the body and how our body is responding to that practice. Let's move our attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking and check in. Where do you want to start your to-do list? Moving some of those things into priority position and with a little bit of elbow room. And now let's finally just check in with that natural intuitive rhythm of breath and just notice the state and quality of that intuitive breath. It's really what carries us through our day, and until it is hindered in some way, we don't really pay attention to it. I'm going to release practice, blinking my eyes open. I'm going to take this big long stretch up toward the ceiling to finish off. You do not have to join me if it is not going to fuel your jam. Nice big reach up. Letting all of that go, taking a moment to honor your body for doing what you asked it to do today and all the hard work it does to get you from one end of the week to the other. Sometimes it's really easy, breezy. Sometimes kind of a slog. Hey, thank you so much for joining me online, supporting the fucking yoga company in this weird changing time. Keeping me safe, keeping you safe, and keeping our groove on. Wear your masks, guys. Wash your hands. Keep socially distanced. Please be kind. Grace and kindness, remember. If you have any questions for me, my name is Julia. You can contact me via email at yoga@jclynn.com. You can hit the website, EFFING, yogablog.com. That's my handle on Instagram and on Facebook. I am on Twitter. It's not so much my thing. but I'm there. And thanks so much for joining me. You can check out this calendar. You can buy some extra classes. You can contact me to subscribe. Um, you know, I'm punting every day, and that's okay. And you guys should feel okay doing that as well. So have a wonderful afternoon. May it treat you better, if not as well as yoga did today. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. That felt so bloody good. And I just freaking love yoga. Bye.